Hello friends, you joined me as a voiceover because it was way too early in the morning, and you joined me for a full day of eating where I'm going to always start the day when I'm busy and it's 6 a.m. with a protein shake. Yes, I'd rather have some whole foods, but a protein shake does the job, and even more importantly than a protein shake doing the job, we need coffee. From there, it's straight out the door, on to training some clients, and then off to take a stroll on the beach to get some vitamin D and get some expenditure in. So that's the morning wrapped up. Then we have a second coffee for Friday because it's the back end of the week. We need another caffeine dosage before push. So full day of eating then. This should be good. The way I like to set up my low calorie days is really to have a very high protein, high fat start to the day. I think that's pretty typical among bodybuilders, to be honest. We always like to put our carbs around the workout, which is sensible. But yeah, on this low day when carbs are even lower and I don't really have that much budget, for sure it's going to be very high protein and fat until it gets time to train. So yeah, protein shake just to start. Again, would I prefer to have some whole food sources? Probably, yes, but at 6 in the morning, that's not going to happen. I'm too lazy, so big protein shake, that kicks me off. Actually, the satiety of protein shake isn't that bad either. Like, I won't be hungry now until I get to my next meal back home, which will be whole foods. So, in that respect, not bad at all. I think the only thing to worry about doing that long term is, again, just the micronutrition side of things. But yeah, for most, a couple of days a week where you're in a rush, having a protein shake straight off the bat, it's quick, it's convenient, and to be fair, the protein quality in whey protein is obviously really high, so you get a bit of a benefit there as well. So yeah, the plan for now, get these steps in, get this caffeine done, and then basically go back, do some work for the WNBF, and maybe we'll dig into reviewing some old competition footage that might help you guys look at the stage through a judge's eye. That could be quite useful, so we'll probably do that today. And then we got the last push workout of the week, which is always a tough one. It's right at the back end of the week after all the goodness of the refeed is done. So yeah, it's a tricky one, but we'll enjoy it as best we can. And, yeah, at least then the week's done. Just a very low carb day on Saturday on a rest day. Refeed comes on Sunday. I can't wait. But yeah, for now the work is getting done. Here's some nice new body weight lows as well. I think it's one of those weeks where the look came together more than anything else, which I'm quite happy about. Good Friday. All right, so back from the beach, back from getting steps in. Now it's time for meal one. Eggs and nuts. So friggin' paleo. So a pretty standard 2-to-1 wholes to white ratio. And yes, I know there's nothing actually wrong with whole eggs and egg yellows, but they just contain, as you probably know, a lot more calories for not much more protein. So we save on some calories. I realize the irony of having nuts and then the egg whites, but Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I'm a judge and I've head judged for the WNBF. What I thought would be really good is to take you through this is the men's physique overall from Malaysia in 2023. I was head judge here, but it might be quite useful for you guys to understand what the judges are looking for, what we're thinking when we see you on stage, and when we're moving you around, what does that exactly mean? So I figured I would take you through this class, this lineup, and explain to you what I think is going on. And just to be aware, all these athletes I'm talking about is no shade. Hopefully it's fully constructive. Some of them who I'll probably give a little bit of feedback for have gone on to win pro cards, so you know they've done fine. Straight away, you know, one thing you can tell is how important your presentation and front pose is. Because what you can see from a lot of these guys is you've got a mix of front poses here, and some guys are going to catch the eye right away better than others. But yeah, your first impressions count a lot. So what I'm seeing here, you know, this guy, he's definitely trying to go in towards the head judges, but maybe a bit too much. He's kind of making himself quite narrow compared to some of these other guys. He's certainly looking the narrowest here. You'd also say that this guy here could definitely do with just adjusting his front pose generally. This kind of setup for his shoulders is not really ideal. It throws off the balance of his physique somewhat. This guy's doing like that. I mean, it helps that he's in the center from the start, so he's done very well there. But this is a great confident front pose, making his top line look large, his waist looks small. This guy's doing a great job as well, really wide from the top, and big confidence and big eye contact. You'd say, you know, people who are catching the eye right from the early get-go are kind of these two, these three, and maybe this guy as well. So immediately, this guy's got moved into the center right away. So for sure, he's catching the eye. And again, a good reset on his front pose there. Yep, he's going to move in because he's, like I said, his front pose isn't great, but he's one of the most muscular guys here on stage. But that's going to cost him. And again, we move this guy in as well. I actually think this guy, if he was leaner, would be very, very good as well. And now we can turn him around and start comparing. Pause. Some things to consider on your side pose. Again, this guy's unfortunate. He's trying to go into the head judge, which is fine. But I mean, this basically standing front on, not doing himself many favors here. This guy's got a good twist going on, hips facing the right direction. This guy's got a really good side post, like he's really wide from the top. This guy's trying to get his abs on too much, and I see this a lot in men's physique athletes. Like when they hit that side pose, they want to keep their abs, and they end up doing this, this crunch over, and he's hunching in towards the camera. So the problem is with that, it will make you look smaller. Because, okay, yeah, your abs might be on more, but you're losing everything from the top line. Like, look how wide this guy is and this guy is from the side. And this guy's just lost a lot of it. This guy could do with twisting into the judges a bit more for that side pose. Like, yes, he's really good at obliques and abs and stuff, but he's lost a lot of top line width. This guy's doing a good job again. I just wish he was leaner. And I think this guy's being done dirty right now. Let's see how he cracks on. Again, this is always a classic one for men's physique to see. This is an overall, so you'd expect everyone to be doing a pretty good job, and they are. Everyone's got a hand on the hip. Everyone's like really doing a good job of arching, making their rear delts look absolutely huge. These two are really on their lats. I'd argue for this guy, he's a little bit flat in his back pose. Like see how these guys are all arching back a little bit, and we call it like sitting on your lats. He could do with doing that a lot more. He's definitely wide, he's opening up, but there's no depth when he's on his lats there. This guy's just not really big enough from the back, just needs more back muscle. This guy not lean enough. And again, I think this guy's really good. From what I remember, he gets moved in, but let's see. Same critiques. They were very quick through that side pose, but I have got it on nearly 2 times speed. Yep, so we move this guy in. And again, now, as we get into the overall, we can start to see people's stamina, people breathing harder, people who can hold their poses very easily. See, this guy's done a good job of getting in towards the head judge. And yeah, he's not on the line. He's basically doing his normal posing in a bit of a semicircle, which is not a bad idea, to be fair. So he's done himself some favors. I think from the back, we've got like probably the strongest, second strongest, third strongest. But this guy's overall shape and how tall he is, his tallness does him some big favors here, because he just looks from the side and from the front, he looks great. So we send them all back, and we're going to do a call out, because obviously when there's 10, we already can see there's kind of a couple guys we can get rid of and start to thin the herd out a little bit. Yep, these two are definitely stand out even from when they first stepped on stage. Yep, he was definitely getting done dirty at the beginning, being out on the end. So this is what we're actually working with now for the overall. It's always hard for the small guys in men's physique, I think, sometimes to get a look in, but he's doing really well for himself, because when you're smaller, you're going to look less muscular, but like, you know, pound for pound, he's on par with these guys if he was the same height. For me, this guy's tan is a bit strange, like too much oil. I don't think that's helping for this lighting. That dry, just matte look on the tan is doing these guys many more favors. I think sometimes you need to be aware with your tan and the oil. It's like, it can make you look like you've got more body fat than you do, because obviously this guy's lean. Like when his abs are on, he's lean. But the oil makes his top line look, you can't actually see as much kind of separation and fullness as in some of the other guys. Quarter turn, let's see if there's anything to pick up on. Now we're into like the, what, 5th round of turns now. So again, guys, when you're practicing your posing, you're doing 2-3 rounds fast. Like, we are 6 minutes into this video, so these guys have been on stage for 6 minutes already, and they've done 6 rounds of turns. Well, this will be going into the 5th round. That gives you an idea of where your stamina needs to be. This guy's definitely not doing the best side pose. He's way too side on. Like, what you'd always like to see from that side pose, kind of what this guy's doing. We want to see that delt in that arm, and ideally even that lat if you've got it, and if you can twist. But he's fully side on, and so it's not doing him many favors in this side. See, and also now you're in an overall, you're fighting for a pro card. This is on 2x speed, and it's still making those guys hold these poses a good chunk of time. Everyone did a pretty decent back pose there. Side pose 2, and now this guy's kind of gone for the opposite thing. He's now very square and basically doing a front pose. This is really good. This is really good. Yeah, all 3 of these middle guys are excellent in this side pose, and he's really good as well. He's just missing some chest. Like if he had a slightly bigger chest, on balance he'd be in the mix. I don't think he's as good as maybe these 2, and he's got so much delts and arms that it's tough. But that's the thing. It's a game of inches at this point in an overall when you're fighting for a pro card. To be fair, this guy's got a much better V-taper, so I think it would be a challenge even if their posing was identical for them to match up. He's just got a much more men's physique, and he's just effortless. That front pose is just not balanced. That front pose is tough, and it's the one you're going to be in the most. It's the one we're going to see you in the most. So for those of you who don't know, the middle's usually in place number 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And again, you just see this guy just isn't fading. Just keeps posing well. He's tall. He's big through the chest. Abs are always on. It's tough here. Starting to sweat. Not that you necessarily get caught marked down on that right away, but if you completely wash away your tan and it blurs everything, it can be something you want to make sure your stamina is there, your fitness is there, so you're not sweating through your tan. Like that kind of overall top line, delts, arms, and like into that, how tall he is with his physique, it's just giving more men's physique. So, but this guy's definitely a huge talent. He's got a huge top line, great midsection detail, excellent. Again, like this guy's just losing out on that front pose. He's not got much lats anyway, which doesn't help, but he's on his abs, and so he's crunching his shoulders in like this and not making himself look broad at all. These 2 guys doing a much better job of that. But yeah, he was in 3rd. So it shows how bad my memory is, right? So yeah, he got that 3rd place. So, and then of course the guy who just held middle all the way through, who was just very prototypical men's physique, this guy. So this was a really good overall. It's a good one to see as well, because from the start to the finish, you had 10 guys who were different heights, different muscularities, different ways of posing. So it's a nice one to show you how, like, once you get into the overall, like small things like your posing, certain body parts, and the balance of your physique is going to make a huge difference. Hopefully that was somewhat eye-opening for you guys. Yeah, this was good. A very nice overall. Strong top 3. Good pros and people. The thing I like about this, like, these are all guys who will go on to do well in the pro scene. So it's always nice when he's done the Dubai Pro Show. Recently he did our pro show, so we've seen him on a pro stage. I hope these 2 will see them on the pro stage soon. So all very exciting stuff. That is it. Right, I need some food. Let's crack on. Right, I ate that. Did a bit of work. Now we are pre-workout. Now the carbs can go in. Protein oats. workout's finished, showered, clean, and post-workout, which is again the rest of the carbs for the day basically. So we're gonna have, I've already drank a protein shake. I drank it on the car on the way home, I was too hungry, but now we're just gonna have cereals. So like the most easy, basic post-workout you can have, and try and relax for a little bit, to be honest. And that is it. Finally done relaxing. And I'll just have a like protein vegetable meal for dinner. So today it's just gonna be steak and veggies. Very simple, very easy, and that's it. A low day, full day of eating, bit of training, plus some insight into what it's like to be on stage for you guys, which is hopefully quite useful. Yeah, if you'd like me to do another one of these, like maybe for bodybuilding or for another category, definitely let me know, comment, or send me a message or whatever. And yeah, 16 weeks out, it's getting serious. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next one.